Solomon has been a very wise king for many years. He was the one who built a very nice palace and that beautiful house of the Lord. But Solomon also does things that are not wise. The Lord had forbidden his people to marry people from other nations who worshipped idols. But Solomon does it. He marries a lot of foreign women. That makes the Lord sad. In the eyes of the Lord, one wife is enough. And when you don't obey the Lord, it is asking for problems. The wives of Solomon want to worship their idols. And on a certain moment, Solomon does it as well. His heart is not fully devoted to God. On a hill east of Jerusalem, Solomon builds a high place to worship the gods of Moab and the Ammonites. But these gods are just idols. There's only one God, the creator of heaven and earth. Do you know him? Do you worship him? King Solomon allows altars to be built for the gods of all his wives, so that they can bring sacrifices to their gods. Do you see how dangerous it is to marry someone who doesn't love the real God? That's why the Lord has forbidden this. The Lord becomes angry with Solomon for turning away from him and offering sacrifices to idols. Do you remember the 10 Commandments of the Lord? What did God say about worshipping him? God tells Solomon, "Since this is your attitude, and you have not kept my commands, I will tear the kingdom away from you and give it to someone else." But God is also gracious. He says, "For the sake of your father David, this will not happen in your lifetime, but after your death, when your son is king." During a certain time, King Solomon has a big building project. He is filling in the gap in the wall of the city of David, his father. Solomon sees a man who is very able and hard-working. His name is Jeroboam. Solomon puts him in charge of all the other workers. One day, as Jeroboam is leaving Jerusalem, he meets a prophet in the field, when they are just the two of him. The name of the prophet is Ahijah. He is wearing a new robe, but look what is he doing now? He tears it. Ahijah is tearing his new robe into 12 pieces. Then he says to Jeroboam, "Take 10 of these pieces, for God is going to tear the kingdom from Solomon. He will give 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel to you." God will let Solomon reign for the rest of his life, but he will take away the kingdom from his son. His son will only rule over 2 tribes, and the others are all for you. This is because Solomon has disobeyed God's laws and worshipped other gods. The prophet is warning Jeroboam. If you obey God, he will bless you, he explains. Now Solomon wants to kill Jeroboam. But Jeroboam escapes and flees to Egypt. There is a king who protects him. Solomon was king for 40 years. Then he dies. His son Rehoboam becomes king. Will he be a good king? Will he obey the Lord?